I guess it doesn't really matter as long as you're a national seed, but just what about this whole deal here now?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what I told our guys. Let's not get caught up, in anything other than, hey, we got a game here Friday night. We've been fortunate enough to have a really good season and get in the top 8, and that's all you can ask for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's all kinds of factors that come into where people fall, and who you're matched up against, and you get caught up in all that noise. That's how you don't make it out. So our focus, like I told our guys, hey, congratulations. If you win, you're going to play at home. And that's all you can ask for. But your focus better be on Binghamton Friday night right here.
I'd say, what's your shotgun impression of the team that's going to be here?
Right out of the gate, Duke's always been able to pitch. They've always, they're going to be able to pitch a little bit. They've got some guys in the middle of the order who are going to be able to swing the bat. You look at Oklahoma State, another pitching-rich tradition that they have there. They've got 2 bats in the middle of the order that can really, really hit. Have put up big power numbers. Binghamton's another one that they're going to. It's kind of funny. Their tradition is more offense. They're more offensively focused, and they probably got 70-ish homers. And so I think we got a good, challenging regional. We better be ready to play Friday night.
And I know experience all means a lot. In situations like this, like, even though you guys brought in a lot of transfers, it's kind of be their first rodeo as far as it comes to the tournament. But again, you do have some guys who went through this last year. How much does that help?
Yeah, I think it helps a ton. And then I think that's the beauty of our league, right? Boy, does it get any more hostile than when we were at Texas, for example, right? I mean, we can go through some of the places we've played on the road this year where the environment, was tough. And I think doing it in your own ballpark helps. But yeah, I mean, experience, it's hard to put a price on that. But I think our guys will be ready.
You mentioned after the Oklahoma game that the bats were something you want to try to kind of get squared away a little bit more. Kind of what have you been trying to do and will continue to try to do leading up to Friday? Yeah,
I think part of it will be, when you get Robbie and Zabo both back in the lineup, it gives your lineup a little more length. We've just continued to work on some things. Gosh, guys, you look, man, we faced some tough pitching this year, right? I mean, some of the best in the game. We've had to face Weatherspoon twice, and he's real. So, I think it's just letting your guys, too, also not letting them forget that they're good. Pitching, there's that old adage, good pitching shuts down good hitting, and I think it's still true. We've come up against some good guys who have executed a lot of good pitches against us.
Obviously, the SEC is the SEC, but when you design the non-conference schedule, when you see teams like Binghamton, I'm sure you guys have played teams with that similar skill set in non-conference. Was that your intent, kind of, coming when you design the schedule?
Yeah, you try to design that schedule. You want to play some good, non-conference teams that aren't, in that power 4 or 5, whatever you want to call the conferences now. You look at it, they remind me a little bit of Columbia offensively. Like, I thought Columbia could really hit. They're in this tournament too. That's where you're at. But yeah, we'll be able to draw on some of that experience. But yeah, you're going to come out and throw strikes and be ready to get these guys out quick, man. I mean, these guys can hit.
What's this week going to look like in terms of practice, load management, points of emphasis?
Yeah, we had a really good workout Saturday night here. We threw all of our pitchers who didn't throw in the SEC tournament. I mean, everybody, Finley, Curley, everybody. It was a good long night. Yesterday we had a good one. Today it'll start to shorten up a little bit. We won't go quite as long. We'll probably go 2.5 hours today, probably 2.5 tomorrow. Then we'll slowly ramp it down. You get to Thursday, and the NCAA obviously determines what your time slots are. So we'll start to taper back down. We ramped up pretty hard those Saturday and Sunday as far as in terms of, I wanted to keep our guys in that, to your term, load management. Like, I wanted them to feel like game day a little bit and a game, and I think we accomplished that.
Speaking of Duke, is Devin excited about seeing his former teammate? Did he say anything? Or?
I haven't really even got to talk to him about it, but yeah, I'm sure he will be.
And again, this team has been 28-4 at home this year. just from that standpoint, I mean, what y'all done historically here, how much extra confidence do you think that would give the team?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's no secret that we love playing here. Our guys like it here. They're comfortable here. Things, they're able to get in their routine. They're able to, just do everything. So, yeah, I mean, like I say, it's what you work for all year, right? Is to get this kind of seed. Now you just got to go out and play, as everybody does. Just getting a seed doesn't guarantee you anything. You still got to go play baseball. So, I feel good that our guys are going to be comfortable at home.
When you took this job, obviously Georgia hadn't been to a regional, would have been 2019, and now you guys have had back-to-back hosting. And I just talking to the guys a couple weeks ago, the expectation isn't just to be in this tournament and they want to go win the championship. Just kind of hearing that and seeing that's the expectation. What does that mean to you, just as a coach coming in?
Yeah, I think it says a lot about our players and how hard they're working. You got to have good players, man, to do this and win at this level and in this league. And we've got good players, and they come here and they enjoy competing, right? I mean, it's something I talked to them about. You want to come to Georgia, be ready to compete, be ready to get in there and fight. And I think it says a lot to them about their goals and them working towards it. And there's an old saying, right? So I mean, we put ourselves in this position. You got to erase the board starting today. The board's erased. I mean, it's blank. You start trying to go on what we did last year or what you did in the regular season, and no, you've got to erase the board and start fresh today. So if not, that's how I think teams sneak. Other teams sneak up on them and beat them.
Now, there's a lot of talk about, do you start your ace game one, do you not? What's sort of your philosophy on that?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think we're in a really unique position. I think we borderline got two aces. Leighton Finley's been throwing the ball exceptionally well. Brian Curry's been throwing the ball well. I don't think it's one. You feel good. One of those two guys is more than likely going. I haven't, like I said, I barely looked at who we're playing. So, but either one of those guys for me is going to put us in a great position to win.
You got time for one more?
Yes. You talked about eliminating the illusion of competition a lot during the season. Now that they're in the tournament, how do you get them to do that?
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of being at home a little bit, right? It's a little easier to eliminate that illusion. We talk about it. We did a scrimmage thing yesterday, and we did really well at it. And it was over, and I just asked him, "Hey, well, why were we so good?" And a couple guys, yeah, well, we didn't have the illusion that there was another team here. We just played the game. So I think it's just continuing to do that. You have to continue to drive those points home and go from there.
Okay, thanks.